Thomas, is Aaron Sorkin a good director?
He's all right. This question leading you the way to say yes or no, but I don't think it is either of that because I personally quite enjoyed Trial of Chicago 7. Like, I didn't think it was great, but it wasn't terrible either. And I don't think it was a film that was damaged by Aaron Sorkin's directing. Um, I don't know. I thought, his directing was serviceable. That he's a serviceable director. But Being Ricardo's was a mediocre film, but it was directed serviceably. It was a passable directing effort. I haven't seen Molly's Game, so I don't know what his first one is like, but I presume it will be a passable directing effort.
I think he's been getting worse, in all honesty. Molly's Game is okay. Um, like, I don't know. It's his direction just always feels so self-indulgent to me because it's of his own work. And
Mm.
I don't think that he's the type of person that can be a writer director.
No,
I,
his
like,
writing is always far superior. Well, I say always. The writing on Trial of Chicago 7 wasn't his best work.
or being the Ricardos.
Or being Ricardo's. So yes, it appears he can't do both at the same time. He
Well, I
he
also
should
think that maybe his
yeah.
screenplay was good and his direction maybe worsened the screenplay. Because,
I
like,
didn't even think the screenplays were that strong. I think the screenplay for Being Ricardo's was weak.
oh yeah, no, I, I don't know. I think that he is a bit overrated as a writer. I think that he has made some like a couple of like brilliant films. Example, The Social Network. Um, but like he is not consistently good. Like Molly's Game is fine. Like his
Mm.
screenplay's fine. His direction of it's okay. But like I don't know his direction has always felt to me like he's directing like a commercial. It never feels like cinematic or like a film. It always feels like I don't know how to describe, but like how a commercial feels like it's like not quite everything's like not quite as fleshed out. Like his camera movements are very, very
Mm.
simple. His
Yeah, that's what I'm
performances are
saying.
like
It's a
fine.
passable directing effort. Like
Nothing is
he's
actively
fulfilling a role. He is not
bad.
putting
Yeah.
anything artistic on it. He is just you direct a movie, okay, I'll direct it. And
So
he does he fills a role. It's like he's on autopilot almost.
right. Right, because he said before that on all three of these films now, Molly's Game, Trial, and being the Ricardos, he wasn't supposed to direct them. I think Trial to Chicago 7 was supposed to be a Spielberg film. Being the Ricardos was supposed to be David O. Russell, I believe. And I don't know, I can't remember who was supposed to direct Molly's Game, but the directors had to drop out for various reasons, and then he just did it. And like you're 100% right. It feels like he's just there so that way there is a director, but
Mm.
isn't really doing anything. And I think that's why like his performances like don't ever feel great. Like they just kind of they almost feel out of control. Like they're definitely committing to a character like Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game, uh, everybody in Trial of the Chicago 7. Like they all have a distinct character. I would say both Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman, but they're never really following a path, and there isn't like an arc for the character, just like emotionally or like physically. Like we don't really see anything for that, and like I can only presume that that's because like they were just kind of told he told them what to act like, but didn't give them direction um
Mm.
for like on set, and like that's probably I'm sure he gave direction on set, but like it wasn't like good
Yeah.
direction. I
No.
guess it wasn't any kind of
Yeah.
strong direction to create his world.
Yeah.
um
Aaron Sorkin should stick to writing. It's
yes.
evident. He should stick to writing. Like Steve Jobs, I quite enjoyed. Moneyball, good film. Social
Yep.
Network, great film. One of my favourite films of all time. A Few Good Men, equally great film. And they're all
Didn't
written
direct
by him.
them. Yeah.
They're not directed by him.
Yep.
Which, like, part of the reason Social Network is amazing is the whole direction aspect of it. You know, the
Yeah,
editing and just everything about the Social Network from a technical standpoint is brilliant. And that's paired with an expert screenplay from someone who knows how to write screenplays. Like, it's clear he knows what he's doing in that regard. It's just, I would agree with you. His directing feels chaotic almost. It feels like he doesn't
yeah,
completely know what he's doing, and he's
yeah.
just trying his best. I don't know if he's a bad director. Like, none of those films, like, I hadn't seen Molly's Game, but Charlie Chicago 7 isn't a bad movie. Being Ricardo's isn't a bad movie. It's a mediocre one. He
It's
makes
bad.
mediocre movies. He doesn't make bad movies.
Chicago 7 is okay at best. Ricardo's is bad. It's not.
Ricardo's is not a bad movie. It's
It
not.
it kind of
It's
is.
just mediocre. It's forgettable. It's
It
bland. It's
mm,
undistinctive, but it is still, it has elements. I enjoy the performances. Like, I genuinely
I
do.
did
I know
not.
you don't like Kidman's performance. I think Kidman gives a good performance. An Oscar worthy one? No. But a good one, yeah.
I thought that she was bad. I thought Bardem was bad. I thought that J.K. Simmons was so just boring and uninspired. And I think that comes. I don't know. I think it comes down to the direction. I do think that Molly's Game is actually the best of the three. And I think that probably comes down to Jessica Chastain because I think she gives the strongest performance of any of those three films. But even that, and like how he writes is also similar. Like between all three of those films, it cuts back and forth between two narratives of a present day and telling the story of the past, and then we'll cut back to flashbacks to see the past, and we're cutting back and forth. All of his characters like talk like very very fast and are like very smart, and they'll like they come across as almost like pretentious at times, and they're like overbearing.
Yeah.
Like he writes like the
But I mean,
same thing and just applies it to different like it's good what he's writing,
it's a
but
good
like
style, yeah.
it doesn't
Like,
it's so repetitive and his direction does nothing, I guess, to distinguish the repetitiveness of his screenplays because that doesn't really come through in his screenplays that are directed by other people. But like
no.
considering his writing style is so repetitive from film to film, he needs some sort of artistic differences in his direction to distinguish each film from another. Instead, they just kind of blend
But
together.
I mean, maybe its style in general is just getting a bit tired. Like,
Yeah,
we don't know because he's directed the past three films he wrote. Like, if he writes one and someone else directs it, maybe it will still feel the same way. Because like Moneyball, good film, isn't the most creative artistically. Steve
no,
Jobs, good film, isn't the most creative artistically. The Social Network is a bit of an anomaly,
yeah.
because that is very creative artistically. But yeah, so maybe we are just getting to a point where it feels a bit tired. The gimmick is gone.
Yeah. So to answer the question, is Aaron Sorkin a good director? Um, I no, I don't think that he's a good director. He's just fine. He's
Yeah,
he's
he's a
he's
fine director.
I'd say he's below average, but not bad.
Yeah, maybe I'd say below average, average. You know, around that
Yeah.
region.